So I was asked to show a typical QSO on the QO100 satellite. So I figured, as you've all come to my shack, rather than all meet together, then we'll have a go live. QO100 looks to be extremely busy at the moment. So that will, we all have to share the sort of available frequencies, etc., or the bandwidth. So when you get big signals on there, it knocks everyone else down a little. Oh, some are disappearing. Thank goodness. Oh dear, oh dear. Well, before we attempt the live full duplex QSO, then we'll have a quick look around the shack or at the setup here. This isn't necessarily the recommended setup. It's just what I'm going to be using today. So we'll take a look outside first. And here's my garden full of boats and all this and the other. But there's the two dishes that I'm using. The left-hand one is the transmit and the right is the receive. Most people only use one dish, obviously, but I had this transmit dish for about 20 years hiding behind a shed, and I was determined to use it. So I focused mainly on the transmission side to start with. I already had a dish on the chimney on the top of the roof for receive. It's a 90 centimeter, so that does work. But the other one just gives me an edge and allows me to more easily play with LMBs. That dish is actually a solid. It's actually a solid dish. It looks like a Swiss cheese at the moment because it's full of holes from things I've used it for previously. But never mind. It's still doing a sterling job out there. It's moving about a bit today because 50-mile-an-hour winds are passing through. So I woke up this morning with the sound of howling wind, and I thought, oh no, the live demo. Anyway, we'll see. That's how it's positioned. It looked like it was screwed to the back of the shed, but it's not. I've planted this rather attractive post in the ground, and it's on there. It's sort of evolving, really, so how it's going to go. That's the receive dish, which is just a standard offset dish, really. They're both 1.2 meter. You can manage with less, but that's okay. Right then, so that's outside. So using a patch feed, most people will actually use the special potty type of thing. So you can buy this in a kit, and you just need to do a bit of soldering on there. There's lots of things you can use. You can use helical for transmit. You can if you want to, you can buy the whole thing with an LMB on the back and everything if you want to. So there's things like that. It's not really meant to be sort of a how-to type of presentation, really, but just have a look what we've got. So moving into the other side of the shack, which is less attractive than this side. So. But, nonetheless, let's have a look then. Right, so if we just turn around a little bit, I'll turn that one off. Maybe it won't be quite so bright there. So what we've got is we've got a ports down. Actually, I can probably if this works, we can probably do this. Actually, yeah, there we are. This is using one of those HDMI dongles that was mentioned earlier, actually, into my camcorder. Seems to work quite well, actually. Quite pleased with that. So there we are. So we're all set. You can see the TX is on. We've it got a bit hairy. I was thinking was not going to be any space on the satellite, but there we are. So we're you'll notice it's not a ports down 4. It's this is actually a Raspberry Pi 3. So ports down 2020. So that's what we're going to use today. It seemed fitting, really. So that's that. Okay, let's take this one off. Right, there we go. So that's so you could just see that a little bit easier. So we've got a transmission up. So what do we need to do? Well, the first thing really is to find a space. So we can have a look. There we are. Let's just try a bit of sharing screen, because it using OBC for the other stuff, you don't get quite such a good image. So we'll have a go we'll have a go a bit of screen sharing. So hopefully you'll be able to see that. So it's gone quieter now. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. Just a few minutes ago, it was knee deep in stations. So this is pretty cool now, actually, because obviously you can put the mouse over when you want to find a space, which is what I was going to do live, but chickened out because it got so busy. So we just have a look on there. We can put the mouse over where we want to go. If we wanted to go here, say, and it will give you the uplink frequency, because obviously it's uplinked on 2.4 gigs and down on 10 gigs. So all the software and the ports down is a lot easier now, because it's got the necessary sort of menus and things now. But in the early days, it was a job to work out what frequency up needed to be sent to come out somewhere there, for example. So there we are. So we've seen that. Okay. There we go. Right. So the first thing is press trans. Once you've found the space, you have to keep looking at that wideband monitor. Oh, it's all right. You have to keep looking at that wideband monitor all the time, because by the time you've got set up, somebody else will have popped up. In fact, there's a few more popped up now. But anyway, I've reserved the space by pressing transmit. So that saved me a little bit of time there. So we'll be mainly using Minitune. What I'll do is I'll go full screen when we do the QSO, because you'll be able to see a bit clearer. But we can have Minitune up. So there's Minitune. I quite like to use this this multi quick tune. A lot of the time I use scan and tune because it's all built in. But this one of Rob's here. All you have to do is click on the appropriate space, and so we can check. I think that's my transmission there. So if I find where that's gone on my screen, I should be able to click on there and hopefully see myself. So if I just, there we are. So this has also got this information. It pops up in that corner there, so you can actually see that same information if you wanted to set up your transmitter. That's pretty cool. This uses the data from the BATC Qatar Oscar 100 wideband spectrum monitor, to give it its full title. So you need to have internet access to be able to use this. If you use Jean-Pierre's scan and tune, that is even cleverer, and can do it with an off-air signal, so you don't need any internet for that. I use that quite a lot. But today, this is convenient for being able to resize the picture quite easily for this. So we're using Minitune for this one. So let's see if I'm actually transmitting. That'll be the main thing, wouldn't it, really? So we'll click on that and we should see everything come in. There's a few big stations about, but that's coming in. Okay, so I can come away from the multi-quick tune, and there I am. I've given the game away a little bit there, haven't I? But you realize we're just using a green screen, but there we are. So that's that's my picture. So what's the time? That's okay, right? Okay, that's all right. We're doing all right actually. Whiz through that fairly quickly. Okay, so what we'll do now then is let's get on with it, shall we? The risk is too great that something's going to go wrong. I say the wind is blowing like anything out there. Oh, there's a big station's gone. Oh, that's going to be really helpful. So let's go and find John. Well, we know that that's the wideband. It's gone quieter. Look, it's gone quieter. So we know that the BATC stream is being streamed down there. So that'll be Mike. Everyone else is gone. Oh, perfect. Thank you, people. I like you. Okay, that's the stream. So this one here must be John, hopefully. So let's let that lock in. There we are, D3. So it's there we go. Right. Excellent. Excellent. Where's my mini tune? Because we need to put him in the right aspect ratio. Right. What we'll do is I'll share this screen now. There we are. I'll share this screen, then you'll see it. It should appear a little clearer. So I'll go there and find the old share screen. There we go. That should. There we go. Right, that should be a little bit clearer for you. Well, but let me put the headphones on. You won't hear me. Very good evening, John. Oh, good. Sorry, good evening. I'll say good evening. It's usually evening. It's morning now, isn't it? Very good morning, John. Oh, can you? Okay. All right, then we'll do it that way then. That'll be fine. Well, here we are. We're doing a full duplex. So hang on. Let me. What I'll need to do is Okay, so I'll need to enable your audio. There we go. They should be able to hear you now. Right. If you just talk, I'll just make sure I've got audio coming out from.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There, that's got it. Excellent. Thank you, John. That'll be a bit better for them. Right. Well, this is definitely live. So I've got through the first hurdle, haven't we? So that's John G7JTT receiving my signal. He's put my signal in a little window there. So that's all very good. John's not too far away geographically. I say the Worldwide Weekend Web will be on fairly soon, in another hour or so. And we'll be seeing stations from India all over. It's been absolutely fantastic. Actually, John, do you want to just give us a little look round at your setup? That would be quite good.
I can only do a bit of wobbly cam, I'm afraid. So bear with me. Come on. I didn't realise I was going to have to do this. Right. This is where it all goes wrong. Cables being cables. Right. Okay. Apologies for this. Okay. So unlike most, I do slightly differently. I actually use a Jetson Nano, which is this screen here. And I'm running Longmin in the background, which if I Now, go over that way a bit. There. So you can see Colin is being received down there. So that's Longmin running. That's my information for Longmin. I'm also running OBS, and that's a tiny little script that's running to do the H.265. But that all gets fed via IPS to the Portstand 2020. And pretty much the same way that Colin does, it's just the Portstand's so useful for it. It's easy. So
yes, it's easy.
And that all works pretty well. My laptop, which is on the other bit at the moment, is struggling. So the Jetson works very, very well. So there we go. There's a oh, and actually, if you might better just.
Oh, somebody come over the top of you then. It's all right, they've gone now. Somebody just come up on top of you, John. But they've gone now.
You can just about see my dish there. So I'm using a 1.2 meter dish. A 1.2 meter dish. And about 40 watts, but I've got an issue with some feeder loss at the moment. So I need to sort that out. So there we go. That's pretty much a shack view.
Excellent, John. That's very good. Thank you. So there we are. That's this is the sort of thing, really. I said we did a little test a little bit earlier, and I say it was getting a little bit scary because it was there was so many people on. I don't know why your aspect ratio is not quite right. I should be. Let me just. Oh, it's hopped off to 16:9 again, off to 4:3 again. There we are. That's better. There we are. That's because so I know why that happened.
It's because it doesn't recognise the 265.
Yeah, it's because someone came over the top of you. It dropped your signal and tried to lock in on them, and then it slipped back to 4:3. So, but that's okay. Well, thank you very much for doing this, John. It would have been well, it wouldn't have been difficult to find another station. Rather too many of them, actually. But yeah, works a treat. And say conditions outside are pretty horrendous. It's blowing a gale, and that obviously the dish is a little bit high. Most people, you know, the tip of the day is to buy a south-facing house with a south-facing garden. That's what you. Or what's it like out there? I'm looking at your trees to see. Oh, there's your dish. Yeah, I can just see your dish. Excellent. That's very good.
It's drizzly.
Yeah, it's drizzly. Okay, so it was the 53 mile an hour winds that were due during this this attempt that was bothering me. but anyway, we've survived. But I say my yeah, that's right. There's a little bit of we have a little bit of a digital delay. That's something you have to get used to when operating. Depending what systems people are using, the delay can be you know, a little bit longer than you're perhaps used to. But the Portstand's pretty good as far as the latency for encoding. So so no problems at all. Right. Okay then. Oh, you've got a clock on there. Thank you. That's good. I got to keep an eye on the time, haven't I? Really. But excellent. So that's so there we are. So those that scoffed at the idea of a live demo, there's nothing to it. Excellent, John. Right. Okay. I'll let you go then. Thank you for coming up. John's been to work this morning already, actually. So he's it was touch and go, but fortunately he's had to work with his supervisor, haven't you, John? So that he's allowed you to.
It was actually quite touch and go this morning. I managed to. I did, yeah. I've actually managed to do it. So, but yeah, we got back just before the the opening 10 o'clock start.
Oh,
So
okay.
I'm a little bit tired.
Yeah, okay then, John. Right then, I'll let you go then, John. Thank you very much for doing this. That's been excellent. Very good indeed. Excellent. So yeah, 7-3s for now, John. Catch you later this evening, hopefully. You'll be tired by this evening if you're going to be on the QO100 this evening. Right, excellent. Okay then. So that's worked very well indeed. Let me find the. It's a little bit to manage on here. A little bit to manage on here. There we go. That's excellent. Right. Thank you very much, John. Right. Let's get back to the let's get back to the pretty shack view. So there we are. So that's a demo of a QSO, typical sort of QSO really on QO100. I say the key thing is to try and arrange to have the wideband spectrometer or something similar in view. so you can see today for this I've just put it on this computer here. I often the other day I broke my own rule for that, and I was just using the scan and not scan and tune. I was just using Rob's software, but of course then you miss the chat, because obviously over there there's the chat is over there. Oh, I can drop carrier on the satellite now. That'll there we go. Okay then, we've got fairly manual sequencing here, and that also means that perhaps that power supply will stop making a noise. I've got a very noisy fan in that power supply. Okay then, so that's gone off very well actually. I'm really pleased with that. So we've got a bit scary due to the rather large number of stations. They've all gone now. I don't know why. But there was hardly room for space really. But you don't have to wait very long on QO100 to get a space. It's gone really well. So I would encourage everyone to have a go. There's lots of ways to do it. I would recommend starting with the ports down. It's the you know, you're more likely to have success using a ports down. I think I've got most of the other solutions really, but some of them require a little bit of tweaking depending on your, well, a lot of it's to do with your computer and this, that, and the other, and so it takes a bit of a work to do. But that was just standard H.264. I also use the Pluto with the NVIDIA graphics card. There's lots of ways around it. Some of it depends on what you have, this, that, and the other. But oh, thank you, thank you, Gary. I'm looking at the chat there. Oh dear. So yeah, it's brilliant fun on the satellite. I say we get stations from all over. I say I was over the moon to speak to India for the first time the other day. I said they'll be popping up fairly soon, about 12 o'clock UTC. So we're an hour adrift to that until tomorrow. So there we go. Right, I think that's probably enough actually. Let's see, 36. So I'll have a look at some. I say, well, I'll be on the breakout. I'll be on that time goes quick, doesn't it? Doesn't that time go quick? I'll have a quick look at the Q&As and see if anyone's put anything on there. Otherwise, we'll do it. There we are. Oh, Paul's almost finished his QO100 transmitter setup. I think the biggest stumbling block for the people I've seen that is easy to get the Raspberry Pi thing done to get your ports down going is, so the generating the signal is not the problem, it's the PA that's the problem. But fortunately there is a solution coming up from Michelle very soon. So, and there are several other things really. Did I? Graham says, "Did I tidy the shack special?" I did. I did. I did. Oh dear, oh dear. Let's have a look. Let's have a look. Oh, it showed the white tipped LMB. That's yeah. That one. That's what's the time? 37. So I'll have to be a bit. I don't want to overrun. It's most unlike me, you see. So let's have a quick look here. This one is I say I haven't actually used this one yet, but this one is available, built, designed by DJ7 GP, and there's a website there, balmattack.net. So there we are. So that you can buy that if you just want to buy one. You can buy it on its own, or you can buy it with this little LMB. It wasn't that much more for the LMB, so I have to look. Ideally, you want a PLL LMB to start with, but for TV, it's as long as it's reasonably stable, then it can work quite well. Obviously, the voice side of things needs. I haven't snapped that shut. It comes not snapped shut, and I don't want to snap it shut till. You know what the plastics are like to get. You know what the plastics are like to get out, undone afterwards. So there we are. That's another solution. You can just make a helical. I'm using a patch feed. I say nearly everyone's got one of these. So you have to modify an LMB and shove that down it for the receive side, and this is obviously the transmit side with circular polarization. So there we are. And then you want something on there. Usually the best thing is just to rob it off of a bullet one. And then the receive, what is that? Receive LMB, what's the time? 39. I think I'm done. I'm using one of these at the moment because my octagon broke, but there we are. Right, let's waving the camera around. It's not very good camera work. Okay, well, time has beaten me.
Perfect timing, Colin. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
And the master of the live demo. That was really good. That was just what we're after.
Thank you, Dave.
And I must thank Colin for all the testing he does on the ride and things, because he's a very useful member of our testing team there. So thank you for your contribution, Colin, and everybody can talk to you later on the...
yes, I'll be on that.
On the breakout session. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dave.